psychological mind frame, which is emotional security is often intertwined with financial security. In such cases, security, bear with me, alternate people, let me make sure, security orientated people, develop a sense of safety in proportion to their accounts. Okay, which means as long as they feel they got money in the bank, they ain't got nothing to worry about. They could have niggas at their head and all. They could have sisters at their head. Sisters could have sisters at their head. Governments, they feel that whatever power structure. Basically, what they telling you is money, pretty much, the way they designed it, it controls your psychological part of your brain that make you think logic. Okay, brothers and sisters. They said the security-orientated people develop a sense of safety in proportion to their bank accounts. The more money they have, the more confident they feel in copying with the dangerous world around them. Okay? That's why you strapped, as I told you. And as Big and them told you, the more money, the more problems they know, because these brothers was involved. Okay? They telling you. Money helps to stave off anxiety. And let me redo that. Like I said, brothers, I'm just turned up, man, and sisters, man, because like I said, man, it's all this truth that he just revealing to us, this morning. Like I said, man, is a real blessing if you're mindful. But money helps to stave off anxiety. It becomes an emotional life jacket, a bulletproof vest, a security blanket. Security-orientated people hold on to money as if their lives depend on it. Without it, they feel frightened and vulnerable, unable to function with self-assurance or decisiveness. They telling you now. These are the psychological opinions. With it, they feel safe. Jim Harper, a product of the Great Depression of the 1930s, came from a large family in which there was never enough of anything, money, food, affection, to provide a real sense of security. The family moved often, and there was little opportunity to make lasting friends or to put down roots. Jim was rather shy and sensitive and had trouble relating to other children, especially girls. Now look what they telling us. Why look what they saying now. As an adult, Harper had seemingly outgrown most of the obvious signs of shyness and insecurity. He had a steady job and put a part of each paycheck in the savings account in government bonds. He chose a position in a large company with a strong union. This provided him solid job security. An excellent company pension and ample fragrant benefits. On several occasions, he turned down opportunities to take job offerings more pay because there were less security. Like most people who view money as security, Harper thought of it as something to save rather than to spend. When spending was inevitable, Pay attention to what they telling you. So you can be like, I'm getting this money. I'm stack this bread. What they telling you is, it is inevitable. You gon' eventually spend it. Okay? Brothers and sisters. That's what inevitable mean. It's just gonna happen. Like God coming back gonna happen. Because it's inevitable. It's inevitable. I don't care if you got a quarter, you'll go try to buy something if you could. If you was hungry, you might want a piece of candy. Your mouth probably dry. Can't that quarter or that little 50 cent, 10 cent, 5 cent could have bought you a peppermint or something? So eventually, they basically telling you it's a curse on it that'll make you spend it. So you waste your time thinking you gonna save it all. Oh man. It was done continuously, sometimes gradually. Bills were paid promptly because that made him feel safe. That's why you pay your bills on time and make you feel safe. Ain't nothing wrong with that because you got your children, you got the roof over your head, but we just explaining to you the wickedness and why you really do it and what it's really called, which is, as it told you, let me go back, it's called, bear with me. Okay, one of the syndromes is the safety first syndrome. All right? And that's why you paid, the bills were paid properly because it made him feel safe. But in reality, you're a slave to doing it, which means you will always have to spend it if you want to keep that place. Ain't that right? So it don't matter how much money you make. You will always have to spend it some way or another. Because they telling you that it is a curse on it that is above your comprehension and only God can destroy. I'm sorry, man. You can think it's bull crap. That's up to you. Right? That's why he thought it was, something to save rather than to spend, when spending was inevitable. And like he told you, like these authors said, it was done continuously, sometimes gradually. Bills were paid promptly because that made him feel safe. A bill was considered an obligation, something that had to be taken care of to avoid anger or attack or ridicule from the outside world. Yeah, you can't even pay your bills. That's why you hear it. And that's the reason why you be striving to keep up with paying it. They telling you, oh man, yeah, it's about you also, trying to keep your kids, the roof over their head and yourself. But they breaking down the psychological evaluation of the hierarchy of it. Okay? This is why you should want to care. I'm telling you, man. For real, man. Because you don't want to get no ridicule from the outside world and, people around you. There was a big difference in the mind between have-tos in life and the want-tos in life. Okay? You fulfill obligations like paying bills because you have to. But to spend money just because you want to eat dinner out or to go to the movie or buy clothing that just strikes your fancy, it's a painful experience, man. These people telling you. But this didn't I just tell you? It forced you to pay your bills. And you pay it because you don't want to look like you can't even keep up with paying your bills, but then you might have seen a pair of shoes that you really wanted. But it probably cost, whatever you wanted to pay, but you was too chicken shit to take it out of your bill money because you don't want to look like my light's going to be cut off. That's why you need to be educated about this money so you can double pay it. So when your checks come, they all yours to do what you want. Okay? Instead of you being a slave. These people explain to you this wickedness. All right? You heard what these people said? You fulfill obligations like paying bills because you have to, but to spend money just because you want to eat dinner or go out, they telling you, man, how it rob you for wanting to do all that because you like, dang, man, they gonna be taxing. You know you say this, all right? Oh, man. Okay? To go out to dinner or to go to the movies or to buy clothing that strikes your fancy is a painful experience. Jim Harper kept monstrous financial records in a tight budget. Consistently, he knew to the penny where his income went when purchases were necessary. He studied commerce reports, he checked the exports, and always shopped around for the lowest possible bids. By the time he parted with his money, he was sure that he was getting the best bargain that money could buy. There was little time, place, or money in Harper's life for fun and enjoyment, but he did receive a great deal of satisfaction in watching the figures in his bank book grow. In fact, by his standards, life was not too bad. Therefore, it came as quite a shock to him when one day his wife announced she wanted a divorce. So much of a shock, in fact, that despite the cost, it drove him to seek professional counseling. Excuse me. Look now. Harper knew that his wife had been unhappy and that she complained a lot, but he was used to it, or used to that. He had heard it all his life from his mother. I'm letting you know this in England. It's, this was, burnt in his memory, according to Dianetics, starting from your mom, her experiences during her pregnancy. So they telling you now a little bit of Dianetics, but if you don't know about the book, you wouldn't catch that. All right? Concerning your brain. He had heard it all his life from his mother. He supposed women were like that, and he accepted it. What really troubled him was that his wife was leaving him for another man, a freelance writer. Why she would give up all that security for something as fictional or financially unpredictable as life in a professional writer was the question. So look what they telling you now. That ain't even worth a damn. Okay? You want to be a freelance professional writer. All right? So if it's people who making more money than you, they'll look down on you even though you supposed to be in some type of high place as being looked as a writer for magazines or whatever. You ain't nothing. Okay? According to how he explaining it. This man who got this money thought process about his wife leaving him. Why would she give up all, that security for something as financially unpredictable as of a life with a professional writer was the question that plagued him the most. In therapy, Jim Harper learned that at the root of his insecurity was a deep-seated fear of being abandoned. This was an aggravated reaction to the helpless and dependent status he had as a small child in relation to very rugged, cold, and insecure parents. So look now, his parents was rugged and cold and insecure parents. Okay, that means they weren't even probably feeding them right and all that. Okay? Who do you think Jim Harper is? He weren't black. Jim Harper was white. Okay?